Mike, everyone's been transfixed with spring wheat and that rally, but there's even more that's going on. It's not just wheat. There's a bigger story with ag in general. What's going on?
Yeah, well, that's the story we want to tell. Wheat could be just a spark to the game. The game starts now. July 4th is basically halftime in the grain markets, and July and August is when you either make corn and beans, and that's really what matters. Wheat's really a minor grain. It's important, but the most significant grains are corn and soybeans, and the demand what I'm pointing out, the demand and supply is really taking off. Part of this because price has been down for 4 or 5 years.
We got a chart right here that shows exactly that going back to 2000. And it's a little bit noisy, but I think the key thing you want to focus on is the white line in this chart. First of all, it's a measure of demand versus supply. So explain how that's constructed. What are the two inputs that go into that, and what it tells you about prices going forward?
Well, that's the analysis we added from BI. Is we took the most defensible data we could find on the terminal. Most of this is from the USDA, going back 10, 20 years, and put it all together to get a full demand versus supply ratio, in this case for agriculture. And you can see what it's doing. It's well above the one threshold. It's taken off, and actually it just dipped from one of the lowest levels in 20 years. So it's taking off, and now it's just, to me, wheat is just part of that, is an indicator. It's just beginning to show up. It should show up in the rest of the markets. It's just a matter of time. And the key thing you need for that is to end the bumper crop trend. Now, I'm not predicting the weather, but at some point that will happen, just a question of when.
All right, so forget wheat. Let's focus on corn. Let's focus on soybeans. I've got a chart here that shows soybean prices, which is in white, and record exports, which is in yellow. That's U.S. soybean exports, and it has been flying of late, especially, I mean, it's plateaued a little bit here, but just look at this move up over the last couple of years. What does that indicate about the price action?
That's what we call as an unsustainable trend. Something's got to give. Either prices have to go up or something has to reduce exports. In the new Trump administration, we see agriculture exports. It's the low-hanging fruit. We have some of the best agriculture products in the world. They're low priced, and it helps reduce our deficit. So these exports have taken over. And historically, when they've really taken off with this type of velocity, prices have had to increase to adjust to that. And that's probably what's going to happen. It's just a question of when. Do we get a bumper crop this year to add that supply and suppress and meet those exports, or do we get a little bit of what's happening so far in wheat, a little bit of normalization, not so good production, which will boost prices and help repress those the massive exports?